I'm thinking, man, I'm getting screwed here. And then by the time I got to, they did an interview with everybody on camera. By the time they got to that, I really felt like I had no chance. I really did. I feel I had no chance in hell. And I almost didn't, I was acting, I felt like I almost didn't care. I did, but you know, I was like deflated or something. But I think it worked for me.
It worked because, I have to brag a little bit. Yeah, they loved Don so much they created Ralph Mal for him.
Yeah, because they called up and they said, my agent said you didn't get the role of Potsy, but then he told me, but they want you to be in the series. They're coming up with offering you a role that they're going to create with you. So that's how that happened. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. All right, now.
You love shooting that pilot, though.
Okay, so now we get up to shooting the actual pilot. And oh my God, it was an incredible experience, because now here I am meeting Ron Howard, and a little background to this. Ron and I are about the same age. My hair was red back then too. And at the time, I was called, everyone called me Opie when I was like 6, 7 years old. I mean, people would come up to me thinking I was him and want my autograph. I mean, so that was like my nickname. So you could imagine what it was like for me now. I'm working with Ron Howard. I mean, and I remember going up to Ron and I was so excited. I said, Ron, you won't believe this. And I'm going telling him the story, and he's looking at me like, oh my God, where did they get this guy? I know. But then we became great friends. But shooting the pilot was an amazing thing, and I felt the chemistry amongst all the cast. And I called my parents back in Brooklyn, and I'm going, I think this is going to go. I think this is going to sell. And I think they thought I was just being optimistic. But I had a great feeling. And then, you know, I was watching Henry a lot.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's when the magic happened.
Henry. I knew Henry was from New York, and there was something about this guy. And it was down to who to get that part. It was down to.
Oh, what happened was they couldn't. The way Fonzie was written was kind of a goofy, funny guy, and they were really thinking of Mickey Dolenz. And Henry went in. I mean, all of a sudden, Fonzie went from this height to this height, and he came in there. He created this role. It was not written. He went in there and he just ruled the room, and he got the part. And Henry's background, you know, was Shakespeare, and I mean, he's masters at Yale Drama School, and
right.
I mean, he's a real actor's actor. Very creative, always looks for subtext, and he didn't want to. He wanted to be unique.
Yeah, and there's a scene in the very first episode, the pilot, and we were watching, you know, because I watched everybody, and Anthony was watching.
It was nerve-wracking.
Yeah, but they're about to do a scene in Fonzie's office, the bathroom, the men's bathroom, but we see Henry off to the side in this seemed like an intense conversation with the director. And we're going, what's going on? We found out later what happened was the scene called for Fonzie to go. First he does something at the banister, which we'll see in a minute.
Excuse me?
Not the banister, the radiator. You remember?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So he goes to the mirror, and in the script he's supposed to comb his hair. Henry says to the director, I don't want to do that. He goes, what do you mean? And Henry's saying, it's so cliche. Everybody who plays one of these kind of characters combing their hair, he says, it's just too, I can't do it. And he says, well, it's written that way. What are you going to do? And he says, I don't know. Let's see what happens. So this is what happened in that scene. Let's hit the video. Yes, video.
Looking good.
So it was I felt like we witnessed the birth of that character in that moment.
Because of that, I could buy a house. He used to say, are you jealous of Henry? I go, no, I got to buy a house.